Okay guys, so I decided to re-record this video because I'm me. So, instead of sharing from here, I decided to write down all my stuff. So as you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be my experience with itWorks, aka, as I call it now, shitworks. So, I started back when I was about 19 years old, around 2016. So, this was a very hard time for me. Back in 2015, in August, I had some issues. The only thing I can really tell you is I had a severe bout of vertigo, and it took me a very, very long time to heal. Like, it was like 3-4 years later before I fully healed. Thankfully to God. But I was having a super hard time, and I was afraid that I'd never be able to drive again. I'd never be able to work like I wanted to and be able to make money. So I met my upline, which I'm not going to tell you guys her name. And this is the perfect spot to insert my disclaimer. You can also read the disclaimer below, but I'm just going to say all that I state in here is my opinions based on research, experience, and facts. So do not go and bully any of these people. If you know these people and you know me and you know them, don't go bully them. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to share my experience with itWorks so that nobody else gets manipulated and scammed into this trash whole company that encourages eating disorders and things like that. So let's go. Okay, so I met my upline on Instagram. I had been sharing some things on Instagram, a little about, what was going on with me, my worries. I was finally being able to, get outside and kind of walk around without, falling down or wanting to die kind of thing. So I was taking pictures and I was sharing, nature photography and things like that, and I'm wondering if that's how she found me, but we'll go from there. So we talked and we became good friends. I saw that she sold products, and I knew of the company a little bit before because a fellow classmate that I went to school with did sell it the year before that. So I kind of knew a little bit of the products and things like that. Okay. We'll continue on. Obviously, both of us have wisened up and are no longer a part of MLMs and are completely anti-MLM. At least I am. I'm sure she probably is either on the verge or completely too. So she started talking about the business to me, and I was like, okay, well, this sounds like it'd be good because I was stuck at home. I couldn't really go out and get a job, that kind of thing. And I was kind of living off my graduation money. So I used a little bit of my graduation money. I had just started college to get my veterinary technician degree, which I am almost done with, guys. Finally. But, so I was literally 5-6 months, maybe 5 months into my degree and that kind of thing. And I was upset because I was truly and solely afraid that I would literally not be able to actually get into this field, and thank God I was wrong. But she was very nice, and she'd always been really nice to me and things like that. And she always answered my questions, even when I signed up as a loyal customer before that, and when I joined and things like that. She basically most of the time had to work through me because I always wanted to tell the truth about the company and things like that, and tell the truth about how the loyal customer program went and the products, and that you can only get these special prices that I get if you do this, this, and this. I would information dump on people, and I'm pretty sure that's why people ran away, because I couldn't get people because I wasn't scammy. How about that? I would stop and start back up again when I wouldn't have the money to do anything because, one, I felt bad that I wasn't making any kind of success out of this, and two, because I had FOMO. I had a fear of missing out because I was already missing out on so much in my mind, and that was hurtful to me and hurtful for me to even think that about myself, and I totally regret having the thought processes I did back then, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't I was going through a lot. So a lot of joining this MLM was me being afraid that I would never be enough and never do enough. And a lot of people have those feelings. I'm not the only one that has those feelings. You just have to process them and go through them and figure out that yes, you are enough. So, and I'm not making this video to drag her, because we were friends, and now I don't have any of my MLM boss babes as my friends anymore, because I no longer align with that in my life, and I'm not going to align with that in my life. So we're gonna cover a few things in this video. At the end of the video, I'll tell you about my shirt. But so when I was in this MLM, we had a lot of trainings. Back then, my internet was crappy, and I couldn't join a lot of these trainings. But the trainings that I did get to join and was able to join, we were taught to lie about the loyal customer program, like I stated before, to lie about the products because they don't work how we're supposed to say that they work. And I was also taught to use my faith as a sales tactic, which back then I've always been a Christian, and I've always believed I'm a very strong Christian, and I didn't realize how bad it was that, we were being taught to manipulate people with our faith and our religion. Like, I didn't realize how bad that was until I left. And that was one of the reasons I left. Like, when I was leaving, it hit me. I'm like, okay, God, I should have known this, that kind of thing. And we were taught to tell people that God led us to this company, and God led us to you to sign you up as a distributor too, because that your life needs to change, and blah, 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 blah. All the crap that you hear. Like, I'm sure all of you all watching this has been talked to by an MLM hun, including me, and I am sorry for the way I was back then. I am not that person anymore. I'm not very easily manipulated anymore. How about that? So, one of the things we did that was one of the notches on the wall for me to leave was these push groups. So we did push groups each month. We had tasks to do. We had, we were assigned different tasks each day to do them. You were supposed to post so many times a day, message so many people, and when you were done, you were to sign in. Sometimes you would have to give evidence, sometimes you wouldn't. It just depended on who was running the group. And you had to hit so much PV for that month, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I was in 3 push groups, and I wasn't invited anymore because I never ever made quota for anything, because the first one that I was in, I never made a bunch of sales, but I did all the stuff for every day. And as I went into each group, the more and more it was starting to push me away from like actually selling the products and things like that. So, and then with this company team stuff, I wasn't invited to much anymore, that kind of thing, just because I wasn't making the sales that I was supposed to be making. Zoom calls, which I covered them a little bit before, but I would have like private one-on-one calls with this girl that was my upline, and they were weekly, and we eventually got to the point when I was like on and off so many times, and I'd be listening to her and like talking to her and answering her, that she would say that I don't even seem interested in doing this anymore. I don't seem like I care. I don't reach any of my goals. What's holding me back? Blah, 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 blah. And she was, I guess, obviously doing it out of care, but it didn't feel like it at the time. And it doesn't feel like it now. Like, I feel like it was more snarky than anything. But my customers would also get nasty with me, or my potential customers. because I would post the things that I would post, and then when I would go in, and this is why I didn't make a bunch of sales, because I didn't lie to anybody that was a potential customer. I would tell them about the loyal customer program. I would explain it. I would tell them if they wanted to cancel those 3 auto ships, then they would have to pay the $50, which is sometimes, depending on what you had on auto ship, the $50 was cheaper than the auto ship. But I digress on that. We were basically taught to lie and tell them with that it was a 90-day challenge. And I would get a lot of people ask me, well, why can't I buy the 90 days all at once? I said, well, and I would have to say, well, if you want to buy the 90 days all at once, you have to pay retail price, not loyal customer price. And then I would get a lot of nasty remarks and things like that. Like, okay, well, then I don't want to buy anything. That's too expensive. I can't do that. I mean, and a lot of the times with the loyal customer program, it was too expensive for other people too. And then another experience I had with them, I previously talked about how we were taught to use religion and things like that to make a sale, and to speak about it in our posts, and always have this toxic positivity about everything, even if we're not selling anything or getting anything done, blah, blah, blah. And that hurt. I lost a lot of friends. People, as soon as I would message them, they would look at it and ignore me because they were half afraid that I'd start like talking about the business and so on and so forth. And that hurt a lot. And you think I would have learned the first time before I joined Beachbody, but no. I guess if I'm not going to do it a third time, but they say, 3 strikes you're out. Well, I'm only 2 in, and I'm not going to go to the 3rd strike because this is ridiculous. And so, and a lot with that, speaking on religion and using religion to talk people into joining your team or buying these products or things like that, that's what made it super culty to me. And disclaimer, that is my opinion. Don't use it against me. It's just from my experience, and that's how we're going from here. But that's what made me feel like this company was super culty. And then when I would see the lives of the big company retreats and all that, and like the stuff that they would do down where the company is and so on and so forth, when they would talk and do things, and it would get you pumped, but then you would realize, like, this is a form of brainwashing. Like, looking back, it was such a form of brainwashing, it was not even funny. It was getting people pumped up to make more sales, and sales would boost that first month, and then after that, where's the hype? Like, it was just brainwashing you, saying, oh, you can do it, you can hit the rank that you're going for, just go home and talk to people. And then they would do these trainings so that you could scam people more and more and more. And yeah, that's where we're going with this. But anyways, when I quit, my upline did treat me pretty nicely, but I could tell that she had been fed up with me long before that, so I'm surprised that she didn't say anything. But she continued on, and to my knowledge, she's still with the company. I got to the point that it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, not because the products taste like crap, but because of everything that went on. And yeah, the products, instead of itWorks, they should have called it shitWorks, because not because the shit works, it's because it works only because you're crapping your guts out from the stuff that you're using, or waterworks because it's just getting rid of water weight. Yeah. So, and I'm really not trying to be hateful when I say that they're called, they are, like, they use religion, they use health and wellness, they push, I've seen a lot of distributors push fat shaming and body shaming, and I'm not okay with that. Like, no, I am 100% not okay with that. And those kind of things. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So if you're in itWorks and you've been kind of questioning that kind of thing, rewatch this video again. Do not join. If you have an itWorks hun come up to you and ask you to join their team, run as far as you can away from them, okay? Just run. Tell them no, you're not interested in scamming people and joining a cult, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I also wanted to mention this shirt that I'm wearing. It's Pyramid Scheme Dropout Anti-MLM. I was actually watching one of Deanna Mim's videos a while back, and I saw her wearing it, and she had linked it below, so I will link it below. Go buy one if you're anti-MLM, guys. Wear it proudly, because we are now anti-scamming people out of their money, their life savings, everything. Scamming them out of their house and home, because a lot of people have been losing their houses and homes due to these pyramid schemes that are total scams. Anyways, let's get back to nice and proper. But thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Like, comment, subscribe. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, but go back and watch the loyal customer breakdown if you haven't seen it yet. Check out my Beachbody, my story with Beachbody as well. You can go back in my on my playlist. It's anti-MLM videos. It's my playlist, so go check the rest of them out. Leave some comments below for me. Let me know if you've been a part of this company before, if you were awakened to get out of this company, or if you've had some Huns talk to you and you almost got into this company. If you have an MLM horror story, message me them. I want to cover some. I have an email below. You can send it to the email as well.